approach to music. You know what, more recently looking back into it, I'll tell you what, I think I can remember the first time I probably distinguished what was hip hop genre. It was like my uncle Mexon's party or something was taking place. It was a family gathering and we was all in the living room, yeah, music is playing and everything, and this was when Dr. Dre and Tupac dropped California. Remember California? Don't start the party. It was the part where I think Dre goes, you're now welcome to the Wild Wild West. But for the first time, like, I swore I stuck both middle fingers up at that moment. And I'm sure that I must have picked that up somewhere from like a music video or from another relative artist within the culture. And my dad caught eye of me, and from the other side of the room, I've never seen this guy move so fast. He traveled to where I was and slapped the daylights out of me and was like, yo, I never want to see you do that again. And I realized what was that I was doing, which was cursing.
For real. Still feeling my old shit. Still living in a council flat. Government trying to tax my back. I've been killing shows back to back. Still niggas don't rate me.
My approach to rapping itself, wow. It was like in primary school and it was like year 4 or something, but it was weird. It wasn't rapping. It was nursery rhymes like ringa ringa Rosie, a pocket full of posies, a tissue. Knowing that rhyming scheme was what musicians were doing to make music as vocalists was my first approach to knowing that that's what I was doing. One of the older boys who used to go to the school used to come back for like the play center, and one day taught us more about that kind of language, taught us more about what bars was, what 4 bars was, what this sound called garage, grime, 2-step was. And for me, it was very different because then that's when I realized what the British culture was trying to do to something that already existed, which was hip hop, make it their own.
I'm trying to get paid. Ooh, she's trying to get late. Ooh, I've been grinding for days. 6-figure deal, nigga. You don't know how many niggas told me they can get me somewhere.
Looking back into it, my most inspirational moment with hip hop has to be the wacky 2000s, when you had artists like Lil Wayne coming out, Fat Joe from like the East Coast, you had your Eminem, you had 50 Cent come out. But at the same time as they were coming out, I started to establish myself with more conscious rappers. Like, that was for the first time I started to backdate on these artists and understand who were they inspired by. Like your Method Man, your Wu-Tang, your Tribe Called Quest.
I'd rather have a one-on-one with her. Introduce her to my ego, my Negroes, my people. Ooh, she speaks my lingo. She knows that I'm bilingual. They flyer than flamingo. Tell her don't stop, pop that, like a pimple.
My first ever recorded, like I said, I was introduced to grime hip hop by one of the older boys that I truly respect up to today, Boy Danger. He took me back to his house after one school day on a Friday. He had an old karaoke machine, like really old karaoke machine. He took out a cassette out of it. He rewinded the cassette, popped it in, played it over in silence, took it out, gave me the mic and said, all right, when I put it back in, you're just going to rap and freestyle over it. And that was my first ever recording that I can put down to date right now. And I was probably in like year 6. This is 10 years old, 11 years old, but I never knew that this was what it was taking place, that I'm actually was recording. I didn't understand those kind of moments.
Throwing numbers like they're gang signs. Whole crew in the building, some bien in the building, my click tight. Straight out of London where there's grey clouds and sunshine. Where there's students and shooters, where there's voters and looters, we just trying to keep a level head. I ain't reached my level.
I would never change my music. If I was given the opportunity to go back into time and do it all over again, I doubt I would.
Nigga, get with the shit, start dumping on verses, dead them on sight. Bars are like bodies, swerving the hearse, treating the studio like it's a morgue. Word to my name, stuck in the system, but look how we glitch up the matrix. Nigga ain't be crazy, she's way too big-headed. I stay level-headed, tired of waiting on niggas.
It's funny you asked me about the London music scene. Please do not find this in any disrespectful way when I say I have no opinion or force on the London music scene as of yet. I mean, with me not being involved in it, my thoughts and opinions will somewhat be biased. I'm on the outside looking in. I mean, the scene has not yet heard of me, but they will. And I will be a part of it, and maybe that question would probably make more sense at a better time in the near future. But what I can say though, the London movement, the mentality of what artists and consumers are having nowadays is something that is refreshing. For example, my peers from the likes of Mad Brains, Ricky Queens, Culture Radical, SNE, Frenzy, Banditsu, Hey, we are all making movements without having a foot within the doors of music. And people are loving and they're growing with us. So that kind of lets you know that the culture and the movement itself is stronger than the scene, that it's still developing and it's gonna only be better. It's gonna only be better.